I'm Miranda Valentine, editor of the lifestyle blog Everything Sounds Better in French, and today we are going to make glazed sweet potatoes. So we've got our ingredients all laid out here. We have 1.5 pounds of sweet potatoes, which have been peeled and cut into 1-inch chunks. 1/3 a cup of packed dark brown sugar. We have 3 tablespoons of unsalted butter. We have 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. We have 1/4 teaspoon of pumpkin pie spice. We have 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And then we have also 1/4 cup of toasted pecans, which have been coarsely chopped. So over here, I have like a medium-sized skillet with a lid, that's important. And I'm gonna turn it on medium-high heat. And what we're gonna start by doing is adding in our vegetable oil here. And we're just gonna give it a nice little spin around the pan. Anytime that you're pan frying, which is what we're about to do, or cooking anything in a fat, whether that be an oil or a butter, you wanna make sure that the whole pan is coated. Okay, so now we're gonna add our sweet potatoes into our skillet. And we are just gonna stir fry these for about 10 minutes with the cover on, just stirring occasionally. And then we'll be right back. Okay, so our sweet potatoes have been pan frying now for about 10 minutes. So now we're going to reduce the heat to medium. We've been at medium-high. So just reduce it to medium. So now we're gonna add in our just over 1/4 cup of water into the sweet potatoes. And then half of the salt, reserving half of it for later. Just sprinkle that. Okay, now let's put the lid back on and cover. And we're gonna cook now for an additional 10 minutes. I'm going to move it to my back burner because while this is happening, I am going to make my delicious sweet glaze. So let's pop this over here. Now using a small non-stick skillet, we are going to make our glaze. So we are going to do that by putting in our butter. Perfect. And I have it just cut into 3 little pieces because it just helps it to melt a little bit faster. So just let that melt. Wonderful, wonderful. I'm gonna hang with this while it melts. Make sure that your pan isn't too hot. You don't want your butter to burn. If it burns, you would have to start again. So that's always why it's nice to kind of start out slow. We're just gonna let this melt. Okay, now we're gonna add in our brown sugar. That's what's gonna make this glaze. It gets all caramelized and melted and good. Then our pumpkin pie spice. And the remainder of our salt. Just toss that right in. Now we're gonna reserve the pecans. We're gonna save those for a minute. Now we're gonna let this cook together until the brown sugar dissolves, about 1 minute. So just keep an eye on it. Okay, so our sweet potatoes cooked for an additional 10 minutes and I've transferred them to this oven-proof baking dish. We have our glaze over here, so we're going to just drizzle. Look at this gorgeous glaze. Just this, the sugar has caramelized. How fantastic does that look? So it's essential, obviously, that it's still warm. We don't want it to cool. So still making sure it's nice and warm. And just pouring that over. And we're going to toss this, so don't worry if you don't get it like perfectly drizzled all over the top. That's no problem. All right, perfect. Set that to the side. Give this a nice toss. Now, if you're gonna serve this immediately, all you need to do is just sprinkle on the pecans all over the top and you're good to go. However, this is a dish that you can make in advance. And if you want to do that, you would simply just cover this as is, pop it in the refrigerator, and then when you're ready to reheat it and serve it, simply put it in the oven at 350 degrees for about 30 minutes, and then top with the pecans right before serving. Since I'm gonna serve this right away, it smells so good and sugary, I can't wait to eat it. I'm gonna put the pecans on now. So delicious. The sweet potatoes have so much, obviously, natural sugar in them, and then you add this glaze on top, an absolutely sweet, decadent side dish. There you have it. That's how you make glazed sweet potatoes. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe. And if there's something that you want to learn how to make, send me an email at requests@mahalo.com. And don't forget to check out our other great videos.